I think I'm slowly getting myself back. No, I don't. It's still rebooting all this crazy stuff that I want to exit that version of Twitch for streaming. Uh, Hope you guys can hear me again. I'm bringing up on the other screen my stream. I don't have my chat bot running yet, so I will load that up, the Streamlabs chatbot, which has the links and everything. So if the link isn't working yet, again, it's because I got to be running that usually. So let's hope that can get back running. All the stuff, but I got back to you guys. It literally was one of those power flashes that was only maybe 2 seconds. There we go. We got you guys back in the chat. Woohoo! On my other screen. One of those ones just long enough to make your computer reboot. Uh, warned you that that might happen because of the wonderful weather we're having out here. But the funny thing is, I haven't heard any thunder. I'm shutting down my Epic Games account. All the stuff that I usually shut off malware bytes just to make things run smoother while I'm streaming. We can leave the rest of that. What's this? Overwolf. Yeah, we can exit that too. All the fun stuff. All right. Where were we? Okay, so we'll start this over. So we went in, we're doing the save game update. Documents, my games, Farming Simulator 2019. Save game 5 is my new one. We've got that right there. We're going to go to documents, my games, Farming Simulator 2000. Save game 2 is the one that I want to update to work with the map. All right. First thing that you're going to want to do is copy one simple file, and that is right here. You're going to need the new from your new save game that you already created, the terrain detail height density file. Drag that, make it overwrite the one that's in your current save game. You want that is going to recreate all of the piles so that they work with the new map. Technically speaking, the map will now run just fine. You'll have new piles, but you don't have a few items that we added to the map, which are all of your, and mine does, unfortunately. I don't have a previous save game without them, but there are those triggers that we need to add for the lime station, the uh, silt buying station, and the liquid fertilizer buying station. So if you want to do the update, once you have the map, uh, you are going to unzip it. There you go. And you'll have in the place, nope, actually in the map DE items XML, you're going to want to edit that with Notepad++. Down at the bottom, you will see a fert buying station. That was in there already, and the seed buying station was in there already. There was actually two fert buying stations, and there was one seed buying station. You're going to see in your save game, and I'll bring up my save game. There in each save game, there is an items XML file. My save game 2, I have this items XML file. We'll open it up. You're going to see a bunch of items in your item XML file. Now, what you want to do at this point, and unfortunately I can't show you an old save game, but I can give you pretty detailed instructions. In that items XML, search, find, and if you don't have Notepad++, I recommend you get it because it's so much easier. Uh, you're going to find seed buying, and then if you, well, let's see, did I spell it wrong? Da, 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 da. Let me get an exact. Ba, 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 ba. Where is it? I got my two new ones. Well, let's do a search for buying station. It's seeds, I think that's why, not seed. Buying SDAT. Case is not as crumbs. SEEDS. Let's do that. All right. That's nope. Seeds buying. I don't want to load everything up that has in here somewhere. There's a line. What do we need to find it? I'm gonna have to find it under my seeds buying station. Well, if we go, let's see. I'm trying to find my mapde items XML file that I just opened. Is I really should close all but this. Okay. In the map, once again, open up your mapde items XML. Edit with Notepad. On the bottom, you will see seed buying station. Copy that, go into your items XML, and search for that, and we should be able to find it. There it is. That will find in your map 2 lines of the seed buying station. Take a look at the position on those two. Find them both, and you will see that one of them has a position of 370, 100, 785. Technically speaking, there should be another one that's called seed buying station in your map, and it is going to be switched over to the FERT buying station. So the other seed buying station is going to have a position of 485, 100, 842. And what you're going to want to do when you find that line in your items XML file is just change the very last path where it says seed station XML after buying stations, just change it to FERT station.xml, just like that. So the previous one that said seeds is will now load the XML file for the FERT station, and that one will be added. It's just going to change it. Don't change anything else. Now, next thing in your mapde items XML file, you will see a lime buying station. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I messed you guys up. You'll see 2 FERT buying stations. Oh my gosh. This is change the FERT buying station, the second FERT buying station to the lime station. I'm sorry. So let's back that up. Let's start this over. There's only one seed. There's 2 fertilizer. We want to switch fertilizer from uh, the second fertilizer. So not the one that's 485, but the one that's 582. We want to change FERT station XML to lime station XML in your items XML file. So you'll find 2 FERT stations, and one has to be changed to the lime station. And if you change the right one, not the one that says 485 is the first number, but the one that says 582 is the first number, just change it to LIME station XML instead of FERT station. That changes that one over. Then you just have to go from your mapde items XML, copy these other 2 lines, silt buying and liquid FERT station. Copy the very bottom 2 lines from your mapde items XML in your map. Go to your items XML in your game and copy over at the very bottom. I already did it here. You will paste them in just like I did. But you'll notice that, and I'll do it over just to make it simple for you. So you're going to paste them right below your last item that has a number. And there, I have them. However, we have to give them an ID number. So we're going to copy, and right after the class name, where it says 120, we are going to go down here and put in a we're gonna paste in my, if I can do it, hit the right button, ID. You find your whatever number you have, whatever the last number ID you have in your items, you want to add this as the next one. So my last number is 120. It was a bale. I'm making that one 121, and the one below it, we're just gonna put item ID of 122 and put the space back in. So that will add in our silt station and our liquid fertilizer station into our XML files and save that file. It's it. That's it. You should be able to go. That is the minimum changes you need to do. Let's load up my old save game. And we should have our tank now on the farm, which, if everything's working correctly, all we need to really do, because the liquid fertilizer tank would not show up if I didn't do that change, because it's part of the what's loaded in. So once you're done, you'll check and make sure you can buy. Actually, we'll be able to see the hotspots on the map as well if they are all working correctly. And that hotspot error that we had won't be there either. So let's load that up. And this is kind of cool because I'm watching the chat activity feed on my phone at the same time. I got the mobile dashboard up. I never used that on the phone. So those are the minimum changes that you need to do to get your save game, have all your stuff up and running. Hopefully we're not throwing any errors when we do it that way. It's loading back in everything. Ta-da, there's some warning. Oh, there's going to be some warnings because ID, whoops, what were they? We might have thrown some of the IDs off because we changed them. Let me see what we got here. I recommend starting a new save. Oh, we've got a Lua error, but the two child 3 from node gameplay, only 2 childs given, is still coming up. I will work on that. We'll get a fix for you on that. I don't think it's causing any issues, but something is got a child 3 still in it. Uh, and it looks like it's still the seeds buying station. I'll have to look at that. Uh, oh, I changed the NPCs. Don't worry about it. The new NPCs should be loaded in. We'll check it out. That might be an issue. I changed them to US NPCs. Let's go over to a field. It's warnings. After the first save, we gotta find one that I don't own. After the first save, it should switch them over to new owners. Yeah, Dennis, now we got American names. That's what I was looking for. So I'm gonna do a save and then reload it. I will have to figure out that other error and get that fixed in the future. But if you save it, then let's reload the game again. Hopefully all those warnings for the NPC names should go away because it's reloading off of my most recent save. Let's see what happens this time. See if anything else pops up in the error log. Because I haven't done this, but I know we can get it working. So load up the save game. All those NPC errors should disappear. and anything else that changed in there. But we got that one Lua error. I'll take another look at that. Might be able to help you guys fix it right now. All right, that's it. So that's it. That we got that child 3 from gameplay error coming up. I don't know where that is coming from. It wasn't there earlier. Uh, go into my game. I'm on my map with my current save game. I'm going to go down. You should have on your mini map, you'll be able to tell if those took place because you will see the silt station icon for buying silt. We have the lime station, the fertilizer station, and the liquid fert tank, which is spelled still a little bit funny, but you get the point. They are now on the map of your previous save game. There is one other change. Now, that's all you really have to do with that. There's only in one other thing, and then I'll have to figure out that other error. It might be in my one of my other uh, buying stations that popped up. Yeah, I didn't win anything in the mod contest, but that's why I can release the map to you guys. So if you didn't get the link, exclamation point PV19 is out there for you to get it, and it includes a special version of the mod fold seasons mod that will run. But you can continue your save games with the steps that I had just given you, and I just have my original save game. Everything is in here. There is really only one other change that is optional, and you don't even have to go into your save game. And I didn't do it to mine yet. Something that I just didn't notice. They pointed it out to me, and I got to figure out one error in the map, which drives me crazy. It wasn't there before the show. Sometimes things like that happen. They pop up out of the blue. But I don't like having Lua call stacks in my map, and it's not affecting gameplay. I just think it's on one of my buying stations has a bad node. All right. Down by, I'll have to load up the other ones and see. They're the only ones that I load into the map that have different children. It might be on that liquid fert. Might have a gameplay node listed in there as well. I have to check it out. Right about center of this station right here, across the way. Uh, it's not on an old save game actually, not at all. I put a road in here. It's up to you. You don't have it on a new save game. You will, but on the old save game you don't. So if you want it to match and you don't want to start, and you want to actually have a way to get into there, you can do it in game now by going and switching your mode to paint modes, which I like to switch my shape to paint mode, switch my shape, enlarge it up so it kind of matches this road right here, switch my ground type, and then you can paint whatever road. I did gravel actually on the other one, so I would have to switch the ground type to the one that looks like they're tough with so many ground types. What I sometimes do is center the box over the type that I'm trying to change. Here comes a train until I get the match or something that looks close. That looks like the gravel actually. Yeah. And you can paint a road in to the main road however you want to do it. But there was no road here. It is on the new save. It's not on a current save. And there was no way off the main road to get to. So there. That's wider probably than what I made. But you get the point. You can do that yourself. That's the only other thing that really has to change. Now I have a road to get me to right across my farm to the main station. So it cost a few pennies, but other than that, you make those few changes and you'll be up and running and you don't need to do anything else. So I hope that that there helps you guys out, and that will add you a few more places for buying stations on the map. And I'm going to take a quick look and see if I can find that back into those buying stations. There's something that has a marker that isn't supposed to be there, and it's not affecting anything. It's just throwing a Lua stack error for some reason, and I have not yet been able to locate it, but it has to be on one of my buying stations. Uh, my liquid fert tank. Let me check that one first. One more time. Now, I think it might be in that one because that does have a. Whoops. Did I load it up twice? I think I did. Uh, this doesn't have a gameplay, and there's no extra IDs, which is fine. So it's not in my liquid fert tank one. My silt buying I3D. No nodes listed. Nothing wrong with that. Uh, I don't think we're loading the silt buying station I3D file at all. I think I just changed it a little bit because this one was the original one. See, that has the map position index right there, and I don't want that. I don't think it's loading this one, but I'm going to take it off there and see if that helps. I'll save that. But it very well could be on my seeds because that was a copy of the seed buying station originally. So, yeah, I think that might be it right there. I don't need that farm position index because they're not needed. Let me save that. Let's see if that error went away on my copy. We'll run the game. And if that's all it is, I will update this again, but you guys don't have to if you want to do that update yourself. The download will just disappear for a few minutes. Da, da, da. I'm going to load up my seasons version this time. Tarkin Tech, thank you for the sub. I don't have my sub thingy alert thing going off, and I guess we got a follow from Johnny3153. Yeah, so there's your road. That's the only other thing I did in the version that. So it's not that hard. There's just a few things that don't. The way this works is the items that you put in through the XML file don't get they get added at the very start of a game into your save game. So if we put some in afterwards, they don't appear. Let's see. Did I get any of that errors in there this time? I do not have any error at all, which is a good sign. I'm going to start up with I've got lots of warnings from mods that I have been testing out and playing with, but they're just warnings. So the error there is gone. Maybe it only appears when I tried to do it with without seasons. So that's my seasons mod map. We've got lots of fields getting ready. Still don't have a temperature to grow on yet. One of the other things you could check out I didn't show you is there are snowmen. There's one in the yard back here that appears. I put some snowmen in the map. I'm going to load up off of seasons and see if that error goes away. Because it might be a seasons thing that's throwing it off. Or a non-seasons thing. Or who knows. So we'll load up my save game 2, which we got the error last time. But I think that was it. I think it was that index. It's not needed. It's left over from placeable mods that I brought in and put into the map, honestly. It might even been left over from last year's. I don't even remember where I got those triggers that I were loading in. But when they're loaded in, they're indexed into the item's XML file, so you're going to get some issues if they try to index. So let's start up. And I don't have the errors anymore, so that should take care of that. All we got to do is give you guys another update in the next 30 seconds, and it's error free, just removing those. I knew it had to be an error index 03. So as I promised, we don't have much time left, so I'm going to zip that up as the last time. Even if you've downloaded already, you won't have to do any more. You can just grab this tomorrow morning or whatever. I'm going to overwrite the one that's in there in a few minutes and try not to remove the one that's there at the same time. Because this will be error free. Delete that one, hopefully, as far as we know. I'll zip that up. So with the seasons as that is going, special seasons version, map changes had to be made to the map in the XML file. XML file map density height types have to be, if you have salt in your map, you want to load salt first because the seasons mod will do it for you. I disabled it in seasons mod actually. Then I put sand, gravel, ore, and coal. That's the maximum you can have. You can have only that many with this map, more additional tip to ground because the seasons mod uses the rest. So editing your map density height types to include salt first and then put the rest of them after it. If you don't have salt, it's going to add it in. You don't have to put it in your map, but it will add it in on its own. That is the only change after other than other stuff that had to be done within the XML file for the map. Let's see. Seasons itself has many things. In the translations, I didn't change it for any place else, but fill type salt said text road salt. I changed it so it just says salt, not road salt, because we use salt for many different things. So I had to make the change in the translation. If we loaded up the translation for, I don't know any other languages, but let's say we loaded up French, fill type salt still says sel de neige, which probably says road salt in French. So you might want to change that if you're French speaking to just say salt, because otherwise when you start bringing um, products to the factories, it'll say you're delivering road salt for your potato chips, and that just wouldn't be right. So that was another change. In the source files economy, I made several I didn't have to change any of the economy Lua files. We had I'm trying to think of whether no, there was one major there's one file in here. It's so hard to remember where it is. Season Snow Handler, I think it is. Lua. Let me see. Search, find. Yeah, okay. Right down here, I noticed that on line 123 in the Season Snow Handler Lua is where it sets the density map height for salt in that file, and I commented it out so it loads it from mine and not from this mod, and then it doesn't mess with our piles on uh, nothing changes. It works great. Just comment line 123 out, and then you don't have both of them loading in. If you already have salt in your map, you don't need this mod to load it. Everything else seems to work fine. It's the density that was causing a conflict with the height types. So I commented line 123 out of the Lua. Only other thing is right above it on line 113 in that same file, there's a mass per liter. It had salt set at 2.85, I believe. I set it back to zero point 0.8 because it was too heavy to carry around in our tippers, and we're going to want to use it. So this overrides what we have in the map, so I just changed the mass per liter down. Those are the main changes that I needed to make. This is where it loads up the snow and all the other stuff, and editing that one Lua file, the Season Snow Handler Lua, to take the salt out and change the salt weight, and removing a couple fill types from the map. And then seasonal items. Actually, really quick, we can do that to finish up, and then we'll do that. So I wanted to get that in there as well. And old man, I will show you what we did. I'm not going to get completely involved, but it's really quite easy. So there's a few, let's see, where's my map? Here, let's take this. Now that we have the save file, let me go back over to log in to MediaFire again. Log in with Facebook. Yeah, that'll do it. That's a quick way. Uh, we want FS19 Pleasant Valley folder. I'm going to if is anybody downloading right now the map? Because if I overwrite this right now, here I'll tell you what I'll do. I know what I'll do. I'm gonna do this. Uh, create cancel. I'm gonna create in there a subfolder called update for now in that same folder link that I gave you, and I'm going to put this latest version, so if you want to get it before I log off, into that folder that says update. It just has that one last change. If anybody doesn't want to do it themselves, I'll let you know when that is up and running, so the error goes away. And we do things live here. Live, right in action. Maps, map I3D. So if you're downloading the first one, it's not going to stop, but if you want the latest, there will be, once it's done, an update folder in that same link, exclamation point. You'll probably see the folder, but not the mod, because I already created the folder. Um, and the mod is uploading into it right now. It's preparing the upload. And when it appears, it will be there. I don't want to delete the other one. I will overwrite the other one and remove this folder sometime tomorrow, just in case. And no raffles tonight, Black. I wish I could, but man, we've been throwing so much stuff. All right. Seasons changes. There are three modifiers. There's a season admirer, there's a snow admirer, and there is a uh what's the other one? I created a folder in here, which you don't see. This editor does have a little bit of a problem loading up all my folders. All right, ice plane. All right, so what I did basically was I took a sticker. You could take any object. You want to make a flat plane. You could take a piece of whatever, anything that you could put a texture on. I'll tell you what I actually did. I grabbed the ground label, exported it, one of my ground labels uh, from. You could also grab this label from the side of the central fertilizer, export it, replace the texture, and then just rescale it up. I grabbed like the lime one. It doesn't matter, but you want to grab something, export it, then replace the texture with an ice texture. I found a seamless ice texture that I liked on the internet, and just search for seamless ice texture. You'll find lots of them. Mine's just a little small. Or you could grab the one that's out of my map now if you wanted to grab the ice plane. It's invisible. Anything, if I turn it on, you could see it has an ice texture on it. So you create it, scale it up to fill, and just put it just above the water on the map where it is. So I am at actually a height of 109.4 here. I want to remember that. If I drop that down just a little bit, you'll see the water just over. So 109.4, I know the water is covered. You have to add, and this is the tricky part, and this stuff has to be done. It's not really tricky. You want to do the on create, lowercase on, create, and mod on create ice plane. This is all on their website on how to do this. But you add it on create as a script callback, put mod on create ice plane and then you want to add an integer called collision mask and change that to 255. On the ice plane itself, go into the collision mask and set it to no, none of the boxes checked. Clear them all. Hit the clear button. It'll change it to 0. We're taking the collision off of this so it never collides when you're in the not running seasons. You leave collision checked. Just change the collision mask down so nothing is highlighted. And then what seasons does is it's going to use the value we put in here, the 255, which is everything checked. If you notice, if I put on uh, reset everything checked and go back out here to OK, it would be the same as hitting 255, but it puts it as we're going to clear it. So did it put the 255 in any? Well, actually, we could bitmask the whole darn thing. But 255 makes it collisionable. Seasons collisionable, turns everything on. So that's why we put the collision mask at 255 as an integer here. It will make it so it's not collisionable and not see it. Then you just turn the ice plane off to invisible, and seasons will handle the rest. Whenever the temperature is right, your ice plane will appear. And you do that for any lake that you want frozen over. Second thing that we will show you is I have the reeds here. Uh, all right. I took my water reads folder, the whole folder. You add an on create, lowercase on, capital create, script callback, and that is called mod on create season admirer. Season admirer, and I'm going to have to bring up the list on that, which I can do. We're going to jump over to the seasons mod. And this information is, if you go to the seasons mod, they have a link to their instructions on, and I need to sometimes you jump over to their link you get here, uh, read the manual, go down to maps, map objects, and what I'm looking for, see, put the 255 in the mask value for the object, and you're good. It tells you the season admirer. And why I wanted to bring this up is because there's numbers here. 1 is spring, 2 is summer, 4 is autumn, 8 is winter. Add together the number of the seasons you want that to show. I put 2 and 1 equals 3, spring and summer, and I put a mask of 3. So these will only show everything in that folder. They're already non-collisionable, so I didn't have to do them individually. But everything in that folder will show only in whatever I mask it out. So if I want a snowman to show, for instance, which I do have snowman, and the water planes I leave visible because we want those to show on the map when you're not playing seasons. However, if you were to add a snowman, take the very snowman, and I mask the collision off because we don't want you to collide into it on the map if you're not running seasons. So we do the same thing as the collision. Over here, we turn it to 0 on the collision mask and let seasons add the collision when we want to see the snowman. If we turn on the visibility, there will be a snowman in the yard, but the snowman uses a different admirer that's mod on create snow admirer, and that means anytime it snows, the snowman will appear in the backyard of the house wherever I put snowman. And that is all you have to do with adding snowmen to your map. Now, I did the same thing on the beach with the nets, but these were much more complicated because each of these pieces is a different piece. So if you look here, granted, you can see I use the Spot Beach prefab 2 several times through here. Uh, there's many of them, and then there's another one that's Spot Beach prefab 1. I only changed one and then did the edit replace the target with the one that was already fixed because in each of these prefabs, any solid object needs that mask of 3. So I have the folding beach chair viz. We don't have to worry about that. It takes care of because it does anything you go down and has rigid body on it, you need to have or visibility on it. This one here takes care of visibility but not collision. That's why the viz will turn on and off with the top one. But the sunglasses, very small, have to have it mask put on. The beach shoe, where are we? We're on one of them here. Just so they hidden. The beach shoe, again, they don't have collision on them. Uh, that one, the towel folded, doesn't have it. So each one of these pieces in there, and we want them hidden. But we don't have to turn off the collision because we don't need to worry about it. It's okay for them to show when you're on not playing seasons. So you just got to keep those in mind. But each of these blue, we wanted to mask out each of those pieces with the mask of 3. Then when you have one spot done, just replace all the other ones and you will have it. Every little thing on the beach, same way with the boats. My ice cream trucks I actually have up on there until October, I believe. Ice cream cart, I put a mask of 7, so it adds in the fall, and then in the winter the ice cream cart's removed. So just keep that in mind. Uh, and then there's the border. I exported the whole border, changed the textures. This is invisible. So with the original border file that was in my map right here, if I highlight that whole border group, you will see that it says hide when snow on the original one, and that's a boolean. Just add hide when snow and put a check mark in it. And then use the mod on create snow admirer. So when it snows, it's going to hide my original one so you won't get any flashing. And then I created a whole new border which is down here by just re-importing that with new textures on it. And the whole border around the map has the minimum level of 1 for snow. So if it has any snow on the map, it changes the, and then on create, mod on create, snow admirer, and it is in the group. The whole group will turn, because it's off the map, we don't have to worry about anything about collision, just visibility. So I was able to put it on the whole group at once. And if I click the visibility on, you'll see that every map turns. And I just used the actual snow texture from the snow ground. It looks white out there, but yeah, the whole map will change to whatever texture I want. And I put the snow texture from the snow up onto that, and it will turn it on when, and just make it invisible. It will turn it on only if Seasons is running. I did the same thing with uh, the mining for the tunnel tops. If I clicked on, because they're way up high, we don't really have to worry about collision. The whole tunnel, old tunnel tops have a hide when snow, so they disappear when it snows. And then we have a whole group of tunnel tops right here that if I turn them on, the visibility on for that tunnel top group, the snow versions will appear. And for some reason, it doesn't show it, but they are edited. They do appear right when I go in the game. I don't know. Let's see. Because, oh, I think I lost my file. Well, I might need a little work on that. There's the snow. Why did it lose my original? Excuse me. But anyway, I think it's working. So just creating new tunnel tops visibility. If I have to redo the tunnel tops, I didn't think I did. I exported it and made the changes outside of the map. So that's really all you do is you're making a another object. Here comes my cough back, and replacing it when it snows with one that's making a different one visible. So I hope that helps you out. Anybody that wanted to do that, and jump in here because the directions are here, and there are other settings on the admirers. So visibility, here you got, uh, it tells you how they work. You have the admirers. It tells you for objects that you want, if you have any further questions, that you want hidden when Seasons is not active, add the user attribute named collision mask, which is what I did, like 255, and so we'll put collision, have Seasons put the collision on for you, and then remove the collision. We discussed that. And then you have the season admirer, which has the mask, integers 0, collision mask, and this mask is where you add these numbers together for the value that you want. So 10, like he says, will show the object in summer and winter. Great for doing more stuff. We can add Christmas lights that only show up in the winter by masking it to 8 and running them down. There's so many things that can really make your map jump with bringing barbecues out in the spring. Just a lot more stuff could be done with that we didn't do yet. You could actually make like a I was thinking that it's very possible if we can get it. The triggers might be an issue, but we can mask out whole sell points based on season. Wouldn't it be cool to have a farmer's market down the road only show up in autumn, where you can have it appear on the map if you're running seasons and then sell stuff? I mean, there's possibilities that we haven't explored yet with that. That's the season admirer. The snow admirer, you can use the hide when snow. You can set the minimum level. So if you want a snowman to appear when there's more snow, just up the number to 3, and it won't appear on a dusting, but it'll appear when. I was thinking about snow melting equipment, having that appear, but we might make placeables for that. And then there's the ice plane admirer, which will make any object appear when the temperature. That's based on a freezing temperature. So that might be able to be used for other things as well. Uh, Freezing temperatures switch over. You never know. Maybe we'll have an ice cube factory that only has ice when when it's cold enough out. I don't know. There's options. They have those options, and I just gave you a brief way to use them for the common stuff, but I think decorating the map per season could become a pretty cool thing. In the spring, we can have Easter Bunny. No, I don't know. There's a lot that goes in there. Possibly changing splines. I don't know if we can hide splines if the people will still walk, but wouldn't it be cool if it deactivated a spline so we could have different animals or different moving boats appear? If we could freeze the water and make things disappear, that would be kind of cool. How is that upload progression? I think it's done, man. So if you re-click that link, let me go over here. Load up that. Where's the web page? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, it's complete. And it's right in a folder off of the same original link, FS19. You will see the Pleasant Valley. That's the link you guys have. And there are three folders, the RM Seasons, Pleasant Valley. If you need to get the latest one, grab that one instead. And I will remove the other one in the morning so people know. But that's the latest, the one inside that folder. So that takes care of the last error. I hope you guys enjoy the map. Thank you so much for the donations I received. You guys are awesome. I don't have the list up here again. There was a couple. Where is that list? It's right here. Let me see if I can peek without crashing. Cause yeah. So the Big Bang Sniper, thank you for the dollar. Two Cat, thank you for 5954. Thank you for the $25 donation. As always, thank you guys. Enjoy this because if all the errors are taken care of, that's the last thing we really need to do before we jump into factories coming real soon. So I think we're all set now. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to. Oh, one last thing! Exclamation point mod center. If you throw that in there, exclamation point mod center. There you go. If we click that link, it is going to bring you up to where I am going to be loading up all of my mods. You'll notice that the PV tool mod is already on there, so you can go. And just to use this again, click on the picture of the image. Voila. You will see the image file on most of them, but also you will see a link. If you click it, you can download it. It's simple as that, where it says the link. I added for you guys the John Deere plow on the Mod Center, and you will see the link, one that says link. If we click it, you can download the link. Um, this is where we're going to be doing all of the mods that we showcase or create. My map and the seasons version for me will appear on the Mod Center. The map is going to appear over here in DadgeNet Mods, the link tomorrow. Actually, uh, well, I would add it right now, but I want to add it to the one that I'm going to be replacing. And then over here, I'm going to be adding in the scripts, the seasons mod that you need to use for my map. In the future, any vehicles that we use regularly, like the man truck, we don't necessarily, I modified it. So I have a modified link for that man truck that's in my Dropbox. You can get it. The original link, if you want to see where we got it from, there's different links. And if I don't make any changes, you will jump to the website that we got it from. So like so they still get credit. We didn't do anything to the animal husbandry. So if you click download, you're going to go right to where the file is that we want you to use uh, and download it from that location. If we made any edits, you will see it'll bring you to the edited version of the map. So it gives a way of getting the stuff out there. Expect the placeables section to be very expanded in the near future, but we're going to start adding production files over here with all the production equipment very soon once we get the factories up and running. And yeah, so I'm going to take a look at Fumman's shop after and we'll see what we could do. But yeah, we've got lots of stuff that will be filling this up, and we're going to try to utilize this because it makes it easy. You can see what you're downloading. There may be more columns off to the right eventually, so you might have to scroll, and you might have to scroll down the lists as well. But anything that we use that we think you could use, new silos that we create, uh, I want to get a lot of options for you guys. So we'll have more stuff in there, and the maps are going to be linked in here too. I'm doing an industries update this week as well. Hopefully, we'll have that by Wednesday's show. I don't know, or we might be working on it on Wednesday's show. Getting the changes over so that it will be seasons compatible and very similar to the smaller map if people want to. So look for that in the near future, and then once that one's done, we'll put that link up here as well. All right, everybody, I got to run. Thank you for watching. Thanks for everything, and we will see you guys on Wednesday about 8 p.m. if all goes well and the weather stays nice and we don't get knocked offline again. You all have a great night.